What's up, Pleasantville? I am here with Eileen Walton, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. She needs a kidney. And this is my first time actually learning about somebody that actually needs a kidney. And I wanted to share that with you because we care about our community, our residents, and she is one of them, and she's lived here for 25 years. And I just want you to meet her, and I want you to understand what the process is. So, hello, Eileen. Thank you so much for coming today and sharing your story.
Oh, thank you, Joanna. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So, essentially, can you give us a 2-second review of what a kidney does?
Oh, a kidney will tell your bones when to make blood cells. A kidney processes the waste in your body so that you don't die. Kidneys flush out the bad stuff in your body and leave you healthy.
What goes into learning about donating a kidney? What do I do? I get my blood tested. What's the process?
The process is you contact a transplant hospital. Doctors would have that information. And you start there, and they'll tell you, we want to make sure that anybody who wants to be a potential donor is healthy enough to have the surgery, healthy enough to have a healthy kidney, and they will give blood tests, CAT scan,
all the full
X-ray,
panel, right?
Everything you ever wanted in or didn't.
And obviously they want to make sure that I'm healthy enough to live with one kidney. So, I think that's probably the biggest fear of, along the line of like, oh, well, I'm young and what if I need my other kidney?
Well, generally kidneys work together so that if one kidney has a problem, they both have a problem. So that's not quite the issue. The issue of, what do I do with one kidney if I should need to give that to my daughter or my son?
Yes.
That's an issue.
Yes.
And there's no getting around that.
So what happens if you don't get a kidney?
I die sooner.
Yeah. And everything else in your body is healthy, so that's just pretty much it. That's what you need.
I asked at the hospital, I said, do you operate on people in their 70s? And she said, you are healthy. And that's what we look at.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah. If let's say I go through the process and I do the testing and I'm healthy and my kidney is not a match for you, then what?
Then they'll look for someone who is a match for you, who needs a kidney. And if you're willing to donate to that person, then they'll take that person and their circle of family and friends. And if someone is willing to be a donor and they happen to be a match for me, we'll switch donors.
I see.
We'll just swap them.
Right.
And that process may go on. They may look here and then take one from there and take one from there. And so it's a chain that can keep growing. And
when did you find out that you actually needed a transplant?
I found out, I knew I had kidney disease about 15 years ago. And it was just like, oh, that's ridiculous. I don't even want to think about that. It takes up my time. But I did everything I was supposed to. And in 2020, I learned here in Westchester, when I switched doctors to Westchester, that it was a lot more serious than I thought.
Do you have to do dialysis now?
No, thank God, no. I don't have to do it now, but I'm getting pretty close.
Okay. And why is it that you feel that someone should give you one? Tell me about you and why you want to live.
Oh God, I got so many reasons. I have my family. My 2 young granddaughters who are now 9 and 5, and incredibly precious. I used to think that women who talked about being a grandmother and how wonderful it is and beautiful it is and how in love they feel. And I thought, oh, that's ridiculous, you know? And then I became a grandmother, and it was like, oh, it's falling in love all over again.
Right.
And precious.
Right.
And my daughter, my husband,
he's out there waiting for you right now, and I feel like we should, like, you just said he's the most amazing man, most supportive man, and that's just incredible. How long have you been married?
Over 40 years. When I first met my husband, my aunt said to me, he was about 30 at the time, and she said to me, has he been married before? And I said, no. And she said, why not? And I said, he was waiting for me. And I believed it then, I believe it now.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very fortunate. I love life. I love talking to people. I love meeting strangers. I
have my little list here that you've done all this volunteering and women's shelters, and you taught improv to a youth group, and
that was fun.
I bet.
Let me tell you something about that. When we did the first improv class, I brought in the brush that you use with the dustpan and brush.
Sure.
And they were all in a circle, and I said, okay, now, this is an archaeological object. It is very heavy, and immediately they go like that. They were wonderful. I said, and your job, I picked one, I picked a fellow, and I said, your job is to ask these scientists, what is this object? And so they passed it around, and they said a few things, and then it got to this one guy, and he said, it's a toothbrush for a dinosaur. I thought, yes,
right.
Yes,
we're looking for that creative spark.
Exactly.
Of, oh my God,
Exactly.
light bulb. Well, it's awesome. What is our takeaway from this interview? What is it? How do we go to find out about donating kidneys to you, to anyone? How do we go about that? Tell me about your website.
Okay. The first part of the answer is be sure you're tested for kidney disease.
Oh, for myself. Yeah, everyone. That's one thing that she did tell me, it's a blood test. When you go to the doctor, when you get all your other stuff done, make sure they test for kidney disease. You want to catch it early.
Right.
Okay.
And the other thing is I have a website courtesy of the National Kidney Registry, who gives them out to people like me. And the website is nkr.org/WNF552. And if you go there, you'll see my story and some information and a link to get in touch with someone from the Kidney Registry who can answer your questions.
Okay.
And tell you more about what the process is all about.
Well, I really wish you luck. It is a little bit of luck. It's a little bit of gratitude for other people that are willing to give it a whirl. And I think it's an amazing thing that we have this opportunity to save lives with just something that our body it's extra, So
thank you.
Anyway, good luck. Okay.
Thank you.
So Pleasantville, look up her website and maybe consider it. Bye.